Well, Ella, along with new innovations, new risks are surfacing within the financial system. And with the election year of 2024 coming to an end, what kind of changes are we exactly expecting in policy surrounding the fintech sector? Well, to help me unpack all this, we have Drew Propson. She is Head of Technology and Innovation in Financial Services for the World Economic Forum. Thank you, Drew, for being here with us on CNA.
Thanks so much for having me.
An exciting moment for sure. You've been watching the U.S. election results. And I have to start with this question. What is the impact of Trump 2.0 for the fintech sector and regulation?
No, it's a very fair question. It's obviously very early to make any predictions on that. It's hard to say. But what I will say is I think the important thing that we would all agree upon is making sure that we are very innovation forward, and also that we're smart about making sure we have the right checks and balances in place such that this innovation doesn't put the financial system at risk. I think we're pretty well positioned to do that. We've done quite a bit of research at the forum on the fintech sector in general, looking at it from a global lens. And what we've seen over the last couple of years, even post-pandemic, is very high growth rates in terms of new customer acquisition. So, pandemic, obviously, big tailwind.
Yeah.
We knew that there was a lot of growth then. People were moving to digital. But even post-pandemic, that growth has continued. We are seeing a little bit of a pullback. So recent data that we've put out shows maybe, or a recent poll we put out shows maybe we're pulling back to 37%. But that's still pretty high. So no matter the political environment, I think that we're going to see continued growth. And then it's really a matter of making sure that we are being very thoughtful about these new innovations, such as AI coming in, being quite prolific, making sure that we do have those checks and balances.
I'm going to zoom in on that AI innovation.
Yeah.
Well, you said about check and balance. It is important that the government maintains that check and balance because the rapid technology is really expanding and we're having a hard time catching up here. So in an ideal world, what should the government do to make sure that restrictions do not stifle innovations?
Yeah. So I think in terms of the policies and the regulatory environment, we've seen a lot of great experimentation that's been out there, and we need to be looking at others to be learning from what's already been out there and then incorporating the good points of that with, of course, our own cultural nuances. If I'm going to give a slightly nuanced take to this, though, the other thing I would say is extremely important is we are seeing quite a bit of tech talent scarcity across the globe. And as we roll out the deployment of AI and the speed of AI evolution is so fast right now, we just can't keep up. Even major financial institutions are saying that, I'm getting 4 new tools every day. How do I know if I should be taking advantage of these new tools or if we should be building it in-house? Or if there's some other thing I should be looking at, and also making sure we're doing our due diligence. With that, you need to then have a large talent pool that can help you with those analyses of the new tools and be thoughtful about what you're building yourself. So the more we can have good government relationships with that really bring together both private sector, public sector, and then also I would say our academic institutions, that is really going to be key to build our talent base, and I think ultimately will make the financial system stronger.
Well, talking about collaborations here at the Singapore Fintech Festival, we're actually seeing people talking to each other, policymakers, tech innovators, and also end users. What more can be done to make sure that this collaboration is an ongoing thing and it's not just a one-off event once a year kind of thing?
Yeah. 100%. I mean, so MAS, Monetary Authority of Singapore, being very much involved in the Singapore Fintech Festival, I think is a great starting point, right? Here we see a very good representation of what it means to be bringing the public and the private sector together. So we can all learn from that. The other thing we see is on the public sector side of things, a lot of times they'll hold open office hours in multiple regions of the world, not just, of course, here in Singapore. But that office hour opportunity for private sector parties to come in and really talk with the regulators, get an understanding of their perspectives as well, but having that knowledge exchange. So the forum on our side, we love to bring together a large part of the private sector so that the public sector is not just hearing one industry voice or another, but really getting sort of consensus around things, or hearing where we have debates and there aren't consensus, so they can really make some smart, thoughtful decisions from that information. So the more we can bring public and private sector together, absolutely very, very important.
Well, Drew, what keeps you perky in the mornings? What gets you out of bed thinking, I have a great job, I love my job, focusing on financial services and innovation? What innovations do you see is really exciting right now?
So first of all, it is exciting because every day something is different. The speed of this technological advancements it's just astounding right now. But what makes me particularly excited is the new technological advancements are really helping offer tailored products and services for the end consumers such that we're being able to really scale and deploy quality products and services to individuals who need them most. So I think that piece of just seeing how maybe some segments of the population can't be really well served by traditional banks. Maybe banks are partnering with the fintechs, or the fintechs are able to reach out directly to those consumers. We've really seen a large part of the fintech consumer base be these underserved segments of the population. And AI in particular, being able to offer more tailored products and services is a great start to that.
I know you've done extensive research on financial inclusion.
Yeah.
So my last question would be, how do you foresee the future of financial inclusion with the help of AI in fintech world?
Yeah. So beyond access to quality products and services that the end user really wants to be using, I would say the biggest thing is we don't like to think about financial services. We just want our money to work for us. So the best thing I think we're going to see is very seamless financial services. So you don't even have to think about it. You know, you go to the store, you don't even maybe have to pull out your card or anything, and just automatically you're able to pay, and you don't really have to spend a lot of time thinking about the future and how you manage your money.
Wow. Thank you so much. It's a wonderful insight, and I look forward to having more conversation with you on this topic, maybe sometime next year. Drew Propson.
Thank you.
It was Drew Propson, Head of Technology and Innovation in Financial Services at the World Economic Forum. And the conversations on fintech will continue here on CNA with live coverage today and tomorrow. But for now, it's back to you, Ella.
Well, thank you so much for that insightful conversation. That was CNA's Olivia Marzuki with Drew Propson, Head of Technology and Innovation in Financial Services at the World Economic Forum.